the stat line might be the most Jameis Winston thing you've ever seen. But the Chiefs Browns game and the Chiefs comeback is the most Patrick Mahomes thing, the most Tyreek Hill thing, the most Chiefs thing that we've ever seen. It makes sense because that's just what they do. You think back to the Texans game in the playoffs, and this is just a microcosm of that. Like, it's what the Saints do, or sorry, it's what the Chiefs do every time. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, the defense, Andy Reid. It's just kind of every normal week to them. The Browns jumped out to an early lead. They seemed to be dominating, but the door was always open. And you know who hits the door quicker than anyone else, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Anish, I know it was a crushing defeat. I know you don't want to say anything good about your Browns right now or talk about this game very much at all, but you gotta, and we're going to force you to. Chiefs beat the Browns. Your reaction, I want to hear it.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how sad I was after. Okay, first thing I just want to say, Jameis Winston, I've yet to see him in a clutch situation, so hopefully we get to see him in that, and that will be a true test. Okay, now, that 22-10 lead, you have no idea how happy I was. Those first three quarters were the best three quarters that the Browns could have possibly played. I thought they hit on everything. I mean, our offense was literally, it wasn't staggering at all. It was perfect. I mean, hitting on the run, Baker was tremendous. And look, I know I could talk about this game for like 30 minutes, but I want to keep it as short as possible. I don't want any Baker slander on this particular game because that throw, I know that it got intercepted. I know he could have thrown it a little bit further out, but he did get tripped up and he was kind of falling forward. But the Chiefs, someone told me that the Chiefs are the only team that can win a game in a quarter. And I completely agree with that. I just don't get it. I mean, we march down the field, go up 29-20, and this dude is thrown first play of the drive, rolls right, falling away, back foot, throws literally, I think it was like 50 yards in the air. Perfect throw to Tyreek Hill for a 75-yard score. I mean, I was so mad. Only he can do that. And, a guy who's just so smart, so gifted, so talented, and just that's why he's the best quarterback in football. It's like, that's what's going to do you. And I think the momentum, crowd noise was a big factor. I think this is the first game that the Browns or any, a lot of teams are playing in full capacity stadiums in like 2 years. So crowd noise definitely got to guys like our punter, Nick Chubb fumbled the football. I think that was probably the turning point in the game. But I'll let these guys say positive things. I thought, if we had Jedrick Wills for the whole game, maybe things may have been a little bit different. If we had Odell, maybe things would have been a little different, but I don't want to go on what if. I'm going to say it like this. I don't like Joe Woods, what he's been doing the last 2 years. I'm not a fan of our defensive coordinator. And, Ronnie Harrison, again, I thought the running backs coach should have been suspended or at least fined or something, some type of ejection for what he did because he pushed him first. Just a lot of things that you look back on the game with, but I think the worst thing about it was just, we let momentum kind of we beat ourselves. I think that's the thing. And, now worst part is long term because, a lot of people are going to say the Browns are going to, be in the spot again. We're not going to have tiebreaker over Kansas City. So, playing in that environment again in winter when game slows down, they're going to be louder. I don't know. That's something that concerns me. So, this is a game that, I picked us to lose, but I didn't expect it to be this good. I didn't expect us to play this good. So, the fact that we lost like that really hurts, but there's some stuff to look forward to. And I think I'll let these two handle that. I don't want to say anything positive because this loss just really, really sucked.
I mean, if I'm a Browns fan, I have my head held high. I'm confident in this Browns squad. Because even though you lost, it was probably the best. There's no best loss, but it inspired confidence for me. Now, you do lose the tiebreaker, which is bad in the long run, but the Browns played the Chiefs literally perfectly throughout the first three quarters, perfectly. And then it's just a few bad plays that can just turn the whole situation around. And we just saw that in effect here. Obviously, me and Anish, we've seen Chiefs comebacks live. Mine hurt a little bit more, but
yeah,
it's just what Mahomes does. When you have three generational offensive talents, you have Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes, you can't afford to make those mistakes. Even the best teams, the elite teams in the AFC and the NFC, they have to play perfect games to beat this Chiefs squad, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. And the Bucs did it in the Super Bowl. The Browns came out here and they played 3 quarters of literally perfect football, and look where it got them. And then obviously the two turnovers, the Chubb fumble. Gillen had botch snap. It just everything just fell apart like right in front of our very own eyes, and that is a classic Chiefs win right there. But I was kind of thinking about this as I was watching, Baker throw that pick to Mike Hughes. I was thinking in January, like imagine these two teams meet again. Do you think Baker Mayfield can lead a game-winning drive in the playoffs under 2 minutes? Do you think he can do it against this Chiefs team? I'm just asking.
If I'm gonna be real, we haven't.
I don't know if he can do it.
I don't know because look, he's done it. Like he hasn't not done it before. Like he's done it in games, right? Like the Texans won. He would have done it against Lamar if had not been for him coming back. Like he would have done it, but it's not that he can't. It's just I don't know. That concerns me. But again, I've said this a majority of the time. Like this is the best Browns quarterback we've had in 31 years.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not. I would pay him, but. That is probably the biggest question right now. Linebackers and those are two questions for the Browns right now that I just don't know the answer to. And
I know the Browns didn't have Odell, they didn't have Jedrick Wills, but at the same time, the Chiefs didn't have Tyrann Mathieu.
Yep.
They didn't have Frank Clark.
Yeah, so like goes both ways. Exactly.
Like fully healthy teams, can the Browns beat the Chiefs in January? I have no idea. I think they have probably the best shot in the AFC aside from maybe the Bills if they can get it together.
I think this week kind of showed us. I think the Browns probably.
But the Browns played them literally perfectly, and they have the formula to beat the Chiefs. Like here's the thing, though: a good run game will only get you so far because if you fall into a hole, you're asking Baker to get you back into the game. Can he do that against the Chiefs? I don't know if he can. It concerns me too, Anish, and that's where I'm kind of with you. But I mean, if I'm a Browns fan, I'm still taking some positives away from this. Like, I'd still be not necessarily happy, but I'd still be more confident in this Brown squad. And I think they could make a run in January, but it's a long season. It's a very long season, and you can't hang your heads over one loss that was almost perfectly played against the Chiefs. So if I'm a Browns fan, I mean, keep your head up.
Yeah, and if you're worried about not having the tiebreaker against the Chiefs, thinking that you might be in a position where you have the exact same record as the team that's gone to the Super Bowl out of the AFC 2 years in a row, I think you're fine. And I think that game showed you enough to realize that the Browns are one of those teams. Everyone's thought in the last couple of years they've got the talent to be. They are. And I feel even after a loss, confident saying that. I've said it all year. This loss only made me more confident. You guys have said just about everything possible about this Browns squad in this game, and I agree with basically everything you said. The Browns were great. The game plan was perfect. Just a couple of mistakes at the wrong times and a couple players being out. But just you change one little thing, and that game could have been a Browns W against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That's impressive. The most impressive a loss can get in week one.